you very much for your attention tonight. We are Team 8, and we're going to be presenting the 5 most important things about millennials in the workplace. This is John, Jasmine, Baez, and I'm Miguel. So the 5 most important things include: who are the millennials? What are they contributing to the workplace and to society? What is their struggle? What's their viewpoint of the workplace? And how do you manage millennials? So who are the millennials? Well, they're the grandchildren and the children of the baby boomers. They were born between 1981 and 2000, and they make up a quarter of the population, which is 75 million millennials in the United States. In 2015, they became 1/3 of the workforce, which is a dominant generation that's out there working right now. So how do they contribute? I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jasmine.
Okay, so how do the millennials contribute? Millennials contribute positively and negatively to our culture, workplace, and government. They're the most known for giving back to our society, and there was a study done at the Walden University, and it showed that 81% of the millennials gave back, either whether it was with money or providing goods and services. They strive to support causes and related. Uh, they strive to support causes and support charities that are really specific to their beliefs and values. And our society is becoming more and more reliant on the technology. And with the millennials, they're really tech savvy, which is allowing the millennials to be they multitask more. The companies, with the millennials being more tech savvy, this is allowing the companies to revamp what they're doing and rethink how they approach customers or how they approach the client, because now they have to entreat the millennials that are going to be more in the workplace now. This generation tends to be highly educated, but are burdened by the student loans, and many are unemployed or underemployed. Millennials are entrepreneurs and tend to focus on accomplishing things that they tend to accomplish things on their own rather than relying on others or being group oriented. The impact that the network has on the millennials can be negative because of the instant gratification. It can drive them to thirst for an instant yes or for someone to like what they do or say, this can also cause them to get put down easily. Millennials might have quick decision choices and lack patience, and they're also known to be really self-absorbed. And I'm going to hand it over to John.
All right, so failure to launch. This term, the boomerang generation that we hear a lot, is coming along with the actual term, which is a new kind of phase in our lives called emerging adulthood. The professional people that really go into this stuff, they're not sure if it's good or bad, but parents who are having their children live with them, they feel like they're getting to bond with their adult children in ways that they didn't get to when they were younger. They feel like their relationships are more fulfilling, right? But they also have cons to that. They also have financial burdens that they didn't have before, when children were actually going out, getting married, and making households of their own. Troubled life trajectories are, they're troubling, I guess. For men, the median income has been falling since 1974, just kind of a steady downtrend, kind of the opposite of what you'd like to see for incomes. And then wealth for men under the age of 34 has also fallen significantly. So what's keeping children at home? Just like I said, the marriage rate. Households or couples that are married tend to go out and make their own households. They aren't living with their parents. Housing cost has outpaced wage gains for the better part of the last 2 decades. top 5 signs of failure to launch. The first one there, we have difficulty obtaining and or maintaining employment. It's not that they have trouble maintaining it, it's that a lot of times they have trouble saying yes to jobs that are good enough. Like I said, they were burdened with this high debt from more education, but now they want a job that's going to reflect that, and there aren't all those jobs out there for everyone. You know, about 10% of college grads are cooking burgers. It's hard for a lot of people to swallow. Difficulty adjusting to college. It's the same thing there. A lot of people in high school and their undergrad got to chase what they're passionate about. And when they finished with their undergraduate, realized that they weren't going to get paid very well if they had a graduate degree in that, so they chased something more lucrative. Well, it's not as fun learning about something that you have to learn about versus something that you really want to learn about. Difficulty moving out. So as far as people living with their parents, in 2005 it was like a quarter of people, 25 to 34, and that moved to, since from 2005 to 2013, that moved from a quarter to a third. Pretty significant numbers there. Difficulty with mental health. College-age kids, right? 18, 19, early 20s. This is the time when a lot of emotional problems like anxiety and depression can really rear their ugly head. And a lot of times they're not in the structure of their household that they were raised in, so no one's keeping an eye on them. They just think they're being a kid. And difficulty learning. It's said that a lot of strong students in high school were able to just kind of sit through lecture and get what they needed for the class and then move on and get fine grades. But when they tried to make the transition or the jump into college life, you know, that wasn't really what they needed. You know, just showing up to class didn't guarantee you an A or a B. And so if they didn't already have the study habits ingrained from high school, which causes things to be more difficult to them and leads to moving back in with their parents again. And failure to launch syndrome. It's not a McConaughey sequel. It's just, it's used to identify children or young adults who are having trouble securing meaning, purpose, relationships, and independence in their life. Next slide.
Thank you. Before I talk about some of the challenges employers face in managing millennials, we'd like to play a short clip for your viewing pleasure this evening.
There's a button down there called Program. Push that up. There's an arrow that goes up, and then you can replay the video. And that should control your volume. Is it on the monitor there?
Morgan did exactly what was asked of her, nothing more, nothing less. She expects a raise and promotion.
Thanks. Junior Executive Manager of Data Consulting.
Is that better than Assistant Manager of Junior Accounts?
Yes.
Oh my god, thank you. I'm gonna go call my parents.
Now you're getting it.
So, millennials have been raised in a time where praise and instant recognition for tasks performed is the norm. Research has proven that narcissism scores of college students since the 1980s has shown that this generation has slightly higher narcissistic views. 1 out of 3 millennials score very high on narcissism. Millennials have entered the workforce in a time where competition has been fierce. Add to that the recession of the late 2000s has made it difficult for them to accept the harsh realities of the real world labor market. Employers who have had to interview and hire millennials have faced many challenges and have had to make adjustments in their hiring and training protocols, frequently to accommodate millennials. Employers have found that millennials are sensitive towards criticism and corrective action methods. Employers who have had to adapt to this generation's attitude and expectations. This process has been made more difficult considering that a great percentage of recent college grads have entered the workforce unprepared for the real-world scenarios that they will face in their dealings with their managers and supervisors. With that said, I'll hand it over to Miguel for our conclusion.
Okay, so they're the majority in the workplace. They're the most educated. But with the education came the expense of school loans, which they're having to pay back, which is causing them not to be able to go out on their own and buy homes. Well, they're going to need help. They're going to need help financially. They're going to need help on learning how to manage their finances. This generation, though, does prove to have great potential when they choose to apply themselves and to use the skills that they've learned. Managing the next generation shows to be concerning, but being adaptable is going to be the key to making sure that they're managed well. But then again, which generation, which grandpa has never said, these kids today. So we want to thank y'all very much for your time, and we hope you've enjoyed the presentation. The quiz questions are, number 1, the millennials are those considered to be born between 1981 and number 2, according to the article, blank can sometimes trump experience. Number 3, 1 out of 3 millennials scores very high on. Number 4, using at least 3 complete sentences, describe 3 of the top 5 signs of failure to launch. And the final question is, using at least